Every single individual who has entered the West illegally should be deported. Every person who has entered legally and who is loyal to an ideology that is antithetical to the West's foundational values should also be deported. This is a battle for the soul of humanity. Wake up. When you offer Spanish citizenship to invaders, you get more invaders. For the first time in recorded history, a civilization has decided that the most enlightened virtue is to surrender its culture, heritage, women, and children without putting up any defense. Suicidal empathy shall prove to be the demise of the West. Nice and precise. Immigration is the meta issue because it determines who will get to decide every other issue. It must be the top priority. No other issue is even close to it in importance. Vote for whoever credibly promises closed borders and remigration. We'll work out everything else later. Mark Steyn explains the stark demographic reality. A 90% population with 1.3 children per couple and a 10% population with 3.5 children will have roughly the same number of grandchildren in only 2 generations. The transformation is already underway. 2010. Over 90% of AI compute will be in server-side for the next few years. Long-term, 99% of compute will be in space. I'm the best at humility. Basil the Great, the whole you owe us X, because why happened a trillion years ago argument is fucking retarded. What happened in Ceuta is happening across Europe, and in the UK the scale is smaller and the rate of influx slower. But the net result will be the same. Europe and the UK will be overwhelmed. Our borders need military enforcement. The Alice Smith and they said Elon painted inaccurate pictures of Europe. She should be on trial for treason. She will face trial for treason in the future. NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. SpaceX helped lead America's shift to methane rocket fuel. SpaceX was one of the first to move on from their current propellant structure, which is basically refined diesel and liquid oxygen, to liquid methane or liquid natural gas and liquid. A vastly underrated characteristic seemingly common across all of Elon Musk enterprises. Product capabilities continually improve even when they lie askance to the primary vector of improvement for the company. Yes, this improvement helps the user experience, will marginally. Have you ever tried prompting by talking to Grok? It's really cool. I don't know why, but I'd never tried it before. It's really good. Legally migrating to North America or Western Europe can easily cost 5 to 6 figures if you're a law-abiding, productive entrepreneur, and you don't get any free stuff. Or, you can just show up on a boat or run over a land border and get more free stuff than citizens do. Those who follow closely already know the other answers. You'll now get a chat message from Note Updates if a post you interacted with gets a community note, ramping up gradually over the coming days. Feedback appreciated as always. Exactly. Breaking, Grok 4.5 outperforms GPT-5 Tera across almost all shared benchmarks on AskClash, leading in ACB, GPQA, SWEP, and Atlas, while also achieving a higher overall score. Tesla now has a dedicated live virtual power plant dashboard for multiple regions: California, Texas, New England, Australia, and Puerto Rico. In total, Tesla has 226,158 homes participating with a total capacity of 2.3 GW. You can even go back in time to a specific grid. Asakina 2014 Basil the Great James Santiago Corona, aka James Guzman Corona, 33, Mexican national. Deported Oct. 2019, June 2023, and June 2024 after illegal entries. Prior convictions include DUI and obstructing police. On July 3, 2026 in Pitt County, NC, he allegedly ran a stop sign while driving with it. One of the pesky stats that liberals have no answer for is how second-generation third-world immigrants have a higher crime rate than first-generation third-world immigrants. It's an earth-shattering regression to the mean that their creedal ideology can't explain, so they. So true. Weaponized migration in Spain. I think you meant ends. View of Starship in space from a Starlink V3 satellite on Flight 13. This composite is made of imagery from 4 separate cameras on a single satellite. 6 of the satellites were equipped with cameras to scan Starship's heat shield and transmit imagery down to operators to Liar. The top 0.1% paid $440 billion in federal income taxes. The bottom 80% paid $350 billion. Yes, the top 0.1% paid more than the entire bottom 80% combined. The tax code is already extremely progressive. Leftists know this. There's almost nothing left to extract from income. Exactly. Actually, this has happened in every civilization when there was both an extended period of prosperity and no perceived outside threat. The ancient Romans discussed their fertility crisis hundreds of times in the Senate and tried many times to fix it with tax incentives and China's biggest growth in electricity has come from solar, which has by far the highest potential. That said, I am not against using natural gas power as a bridge to solar, and even using it long-term to some degree to help with the dip in solar power during the deep winter. True. If you're wondering whether mass immigration a good or bad thing, then look at the countries they're coming from and ask if you want your country to become like that. It really is that simple. Life is short, don't forget to have some fun. Nigeria alone had 4 million more births than the entire EU last year. I finally have all 1.2 million raw image files from my latest mission to ISS. Here is a sample of one of my favorite Milky Way photos, taken from the cupola with Nikon Z9, a Zeiss 15 lens, T18 with custom sidereal drive that cancelled out star motion relative to our orbit. R&D and Ember CB Doge both below replacement 2.1. US total fertility rate is CDC final for 2024, similar in 2025 provisional. EU is 1.34 Eurostat 2024. US sits higher than the EU average but still well under the level needed for generational replacement without migration. Connect SuperWhisper to Grok Build with your SuperGrok or X Premium subscription. Breaking: Europe is facing a historic birth collapse. EU, 3.46 million births versus 4.81 million deaths in 2025, a natural loss of 1.35 million people. 21 of 27 EU countries recorded more deaths than births. The EU's population growth came entirely from migration. This will be posted again but set to Moonlight Sonata. This is the most impossible launch moments ever captured. This close a camera sat beneath Starship's Super Heavy booster, as all 33 Raptor engines ignited at once inside each Raptor. Methane and oxygen produce combustion gases approaching 3000 degrees C, or roughly 400 degrees F. Then, Zimbabwe destroyed itself the day it destroyed the people who produce. Confiscating 4,500 productive commercial farms from the people who actually knew how to run them and handing them to political allies with zero farming experience is precisely how you turn Africa's. As crazy as it sounds, goods and services output due to AI and robotics will far exceed growth in the money supply. Moonlight Sonata Starship. Starlink with SOST Global MX is providing high-speed internet to 2 community centers run by indigenous Maya groups on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. At these centers, several families can now access digital tools for education, improve farming projects, and protect forest. SpaceX is hiring exceptional engineering and skilled trades talent to build and operate the most powerful AI supercomputer clusters on and off Earth. If interested, please email 3 bullet points demonstrating evidence of exceptional ability and your resume to data center SpaceX.com. Wake up, Europe! You have civilizations worth preserving, and it's not racist to make sure entrants are compatible with it. If Spain doesn't handle this migrant invasion decisively, they'll experience exactly what Paris does: riots and chaos even during celebrations. Secretary Rubio. We in America have no interest in being polite and orderly caretakers of the West's managed decline. Imagine Video 1.5 launched last month as our best video model yet, with more lifelike motion and sound. Today it goes even further with text-to-video support, image and voice references, and native 1080p. Such a crazy double standard. Honestly, and this is not sponsored, Grok and SpaceX AI Grok Build are just astonishing. I just paid for the promo for Grok Heavy. I took a screenshot of a workflow tool, asked Grok Build to make it, and it got a working first pass. From there, it's taken no longer than 30 mins of. Yikes. Zlal. There must be at least one attempted impeachment. Grok Build just got another meaningful upgrade, bringing permanent session deletion, smarter diagnostics, better keyboard guidance, and stronger reliability across session management, background tasks, and compaction release notes. Features. Sessions can now be. Watch Falcon 9 launch 24 Starlink satellites to orbit from California. So it goes with anything requiring extreme cognition. Most people seriously underestimate what Grok Build can do. They assume an AI coding agent is only useful for building apps or writing complex software. But some of its most valuable work is handling the boring, obvious tasks that quietly consume 10 minutes here, 20 minutes. Interesting. Annonce est en ligne. Il y a un an j'ai cherché un outil de suivi du grand remplacement. Un site qui rassemblerait les données démographiques de l'ensemble du monde occidental et permettrait de mesurer l'ampleur des changements en cours. Words are a very lossy representation of reality. Yes. Release a cure already, then what's holding you back? In fast. They smashed babies against trees and murdered nearly 2 million Cambodians in under 4 years, chasing a pure agrarian communist utopia with no cities, no money, and no private property. On April 17, 1975, the Khmer Rouge rolled into Phnom Penh and within hours emptied the entire. Grok Plugin Marketplace adds 7 Etsuo/Write Legible C Grok Plugin install Write Legible C Trust Grok Build with Grok 4.5 is producing the most beautiful C I have ever seen come out of a model. Every function under 25 lines with one job. Nesting never past depth 2. 0 naked. Read this Foci diary entry closely. Officials would not admit the vaccine was not stopping spread because it might weaken the legal case for mandates. That is not science. That is a cover-up to justify coercion. Reject collective guilt. Stewart's finest work, TBH. Most of the West is literally going extinct. Also happy to see that Grok 4.5 was the best frontier model in their testing. Checking. Welcome to the singularity. How's the temperature? He really is. NASA recently recognized one of America's outstanding engineers. At SpaceX's rocket development facility in McGregor, Texas, I joined Congressman Pete Sessions and McGregor Mayor Jim Moody to present Andrew Berkowitz with NASA's Exceptional Public Achievement Award. Andrews. AI will increasingly do more and more difficult tasks that would take longer and longer to comprehend. We will, at first, gasp. Then, over time, it will be just another normal day. Just like people expect full self-driving to take them from point A to point B without questions. A friend of mine said that we should welcome illegal immigrants so long as they don't live near her. She's now a former friend. My mom used to say you cannot argue with stupid or crazy people. Her quote is in my new book, I Still Try but Without Success. Après tout ces vagues d'immigration en Espagne, je vais vous expliquer par A plus B pourquoi une partie de la gauche, a structurellement besoin de flux continues de revés irréguliers pour rester au pouvoir. Et un immigrant qui vient de river via l'Amérique, interviewé dans la rue. A special effect like this used to take months of effort by a specialized company. Many have asked how this photo was made. This is my explanation. The ISS rotates about its pitch axis as it orbits Earth at 17,000 mph to keep its nadir view constant. Because of this, long exposure photography turns stars into arced lines. Sidereal clock drives on Earth map. The Anglosphere has lost its damn marbles and needs to find them again. Yeah. Gun pointed to your heads, name a moons. Yeah. SpaceX just completed its 90th Falcon family launch of 2026 Falcon 9, lifted off from Vandenberg carrying 24 Starlink satellites. Successfully deploying all of them into low Earth orbit, booster B-1081 completed its 26th mission and landed on, of course, I Still Love You in the red. Grok imagine. Few understand. Made with Grok imagines. Starlink enables fast, reliable connectivity where traditional infrastructure does not exist.